And good morning, Tobago. Good morning to the world. Wherever you are, welcome to Rise and Shine. Today is the 30th November. Thank you, guys. And of course, hey, you're welcome to Rise and Shine. You're up your life. Don't take that for granted. Give God thanks for life. And of course, show the children love. Remember, every child is your child, especially now that Christmas is the time for love and children. And show them love. Of course, I'm yet to get my list of that shopping list from my granddaughter. And she said, Grandfather, I've been preparing a list since last week. I can't get it yet. It means therefore it's a long list. But you know, I cheat. But anyway, all right. So show the children love and everything will be all right. But anyway, yesterday Barbados became a republic. Yeah, let's say, Ma, I tell you, I feel like going back to Barbados from today, yeah? Because that's my ancestral root. My grandfather came from Barbados. Yeah. So let me say to all Bajans, wherever in the world, and of course, my good friend Diane Benskin, when you went to, of course, the celebration took place yesterday. The Prime Minister and his wife was there. Rihanna came home to celebrate with the rest of Barbados. And of course, they now have a female president. So it's female Prime Minister. I had to check that. Maybe just I could be corrected, right? But from all indications, it sounds like it's a female president. And so Barbados, welcome to the fold of being a Republican nation. All right, so we get into that later on. Let's talk about, well, let's let you know what's on this morning. We will talk to the Civil Net Society, led by, Shirley Cook would be the individual who is a member of the Civil Net Society. And we are going to discuss the upcoming election event that they're going to have, speaking with all the leaders. And we'll talk more about that. Later, we'll speak to the eye doctor and Dr. Dorica, Dr. Dorica. And of course, we talk eye care. It's the last episode of, we had a series of from his institution treating with eye care. And it's very important, people, go get your eyes checked. I have to go just to check up and so on. And then later on, we'll speak with the PDP representative for Signal Hill Patients Hill, Mr. Nigel Tate. Yes, looking forward to that conversation because anyway, we get into that. And of course, joining him would be Ian Pollard, the PDP representative for Miss Noel Moriah. And then later on, we will speak with Mr. Lawrence Hislop, the PNM candidate for Miss Noel Moriah, right? So full morning. All right, so with that, guys, we're ready for news and then Tobago Notes. Let's take that in now.
Elections and Boundaries Commission, the EBC, in a recent letter, informed the political leaders of parties contesting the upcoming Tobago House of Assembly election about its plan to increase the use of technology at polling stations in the upcoming Tobago House of Assembly election. The process, termed a pilot project, will introduce a data entry poll clerk with the responsibility of electronically identifying the voters present and who have voted. The process will work in tandem with the already existing manual version of crossing off the names of persons who have voted on the revised list of electors. As such, it will not replace the manual process. The project will be piloted at the 13 polling stations located in the electoral districts of Scarborough, Mount Grace and Mount St. George, Goodwood only. The EBC stated that the new process is expected to give the Commission the ability to access voter turnout in real time, streamline workflow for post-election reports, and increase efficiency in the process. The Progressive Democratic Patriots, the PDP, says it is suspicious of the timing of the EBC's move to introduce the pilot project a week before the Tobago House of Assembly's elections. PDP's political leader, Watson Duke, spoke on the issue last evening during a spot meeting in Delaford. Here is more.
The political leader of the PDP, Watson Duke, says he is suspicious of the Elections and Boundaries Commission's notice that they are planning to pilot an electronic system to record people who cast votes at polling stations in the Mount St. George, Goodwood and Scarborough Mount Grace electoral districts. He says he got the notice on Sunday evening.
In that letter, EBC is now saying to us they want to try some electronic gimmickry. Some electronic thing in the voting thing.
According to Duke, the timing of the announcement is fishy.
Now I ask myself, why, and then asking me for my opinion, why is it that they're trying to do all of these things? If they know they was doing that, why didn't they bring in the international observers who are more learned than I?
Duke says when he wrote to the Prime Minister requesting international observers, the response was that they would be requested if they were deemed necessary.
And Rowley is quiet. They're distracting you with Watson, Farley. They are quiet. But right underneath our nose, they are practicing mischief.
He wants supporters not to be fooled. He alleges the government is using state resources to control the elections.
They are doing everything in their power to win this election. And they have the police on standby. Because if you know police, they carry out orders. They don't come to talk and lie and engage in reasoning. They come to enforce the law.
Candace Jackson, Channel 5 News.
Meanwhile, the EBC's Chief Elections Officer, Fern Narcis-Scope, says the Commission has received no official queries on the pilot project. She told Channel 5 News the system was just recently devised, as the Commission is always looking at ways to improve the electoral process. She says the Commission felt it had an opportunity to improve its data collection, giving figures in real time, and the only way to test the system would be during an election. She says the EBC stands ready to listen and address any concerns. One of the COVID-19 pandemic challenges was that students from kindergarten to secondary schools were upended. One secondary school to assist came up with a challenge to take students from behind their computers and into the outdoors. Here is more.
As the pandemic carried on in 2021, the Signal Secondary School PTA developed the Eat, Grow and Learn GEL program. Under the theme, Every Student a Successful Farmer, students were given a total of 14 seedlings to plant and care for 2 months. They were given cucumbers, tomatoes, lettuce, sweet peppers, pimentos, parsley and okras. The students were asked to submit weekly photos showing the seedlings' progress. At the prize-giving function for the first installment, Principal Xavier King congratulated but challenged the PTA.
It's something that should continue, because just now we may have to feed ourselves. Already the supply chain is being interrupted because of COVID and so on, and we are not getting things as we ought to, and if they are here, they are very expensive.
As such, it is critical for schools to play a role.
So we need to start from young and develop that attitude of agriculture into our students.
The hard work and dedication paid off for Deja Lane, Harry of 3A5, who topped the challenge and took home the challenge trophy. The Teacher Weeks of 3A1 was the first runner-up. The school thanked the Backyard Plant Shop in Bonaccord for providing the seedlings at a reduced price. All students from Forms 1 to 6 were eligible to participate during the July-August vacation. Camille McKechnie, Channel 5 News.
And in today's weather report, initially fair conditions will increase in cloudiness by late morning, accompanied by occasional showers in some areas. Nighttime will be partly cloudy with a few showery interruptions. Today's temperatures should reach a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius and fall to 24 degrees Celsius.
And of course, at this point in time, let's take in Tobago notes. When we come back, lots more.
Tobago's tourism sector is set to make a comeback after being negatively affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Honorable Ansel Dennis, says some $50 million was made available following the most recent budget. This follows a request from the Assembly to make additional resources available to provide much-needed support to Tobago's economy. Mr. Dennis says $15 million will be used for the accommodations sector, and up to $300,000 will be made available for the larger establishments.
This time there will be some added flexibility to allow those businesses to utilize the funding to treat with other expenses outside of upgrading their premises.
Another $5 million will be made available to small and medium-sized businesses that have been impacted by the closure of the tourism sector.
That will include our tour operators, food and beverage, entertainment, weddings and events, etc. And for that sector, we intend to make a one-off grant of $25,000 to each business that wishes to benefit from this arrangement. Of course, once they meet the criteria and qualifications.
Mr. Dennis says the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited will also receive funds to assist with the digitization of businesses in the tourism sector.
We intend to make $10 million available to the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, and that funding will be used to assist in the digitization of businesses in the tourism sector. The intention is to ensure that our businesses or operatives within that very critical sector are brought up to speed and the operations are improved to the extent where they can utilize technology to improve, of course, their visibility on online platforms and other marketing platforms.
The Chief Secretary was speaking at a recent Post-Executive Council media briefing.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
All right. So, as I said, it was last night when Barbados became a republic, breaking ties with good old England. And of course, for those of you who know, and when we talk about the tourism, Barbados Tourism Trust, the number or the most tourists that you would find in Barbados at any given time are English or the folks from England, and all because of the presence of the Crown in England. And you could go to other Caribbean islands that are still under the British, that you would find a number of tourists there. My question is, will they still have this influx of English tourists as they normally have on an annual basis? But anyway, we'll watch to see. And now Barbados is now, well, joining the fold of being a republic, meaning that they have their own president. And as I said, I have to verify whether it's a female. I'm quite sure it was. And of course, again, congratulations to Barbados. All right. All right. So the Minister of Health is announcing that there is going to be a booster shot for all. For those of you who are, well, quote unquote, fully vaccinated. Of course, the goalpost keeps moving. People are arguing, but every day you're hearing something new and so on. Because this is a moving target. You hear about the variant that is now possibly can be vaccinated resistant. Science has no answer for that yet. And this evil that was concocted, well, let me say that carefully, how this came about. You have to really ask, why was this, and when we heard of diseases, and sometimes I'm afraid of my own mouth. Remember I said every Monday morning a new disease coming, and I don't know, it just seems to, I don't know, sometimes I am afraid to open my mouth on certain things, And after that, we heard of COVID-19. So we have to deal with this thing goalpost by goalpost, basically, because, and I'm ready for my booster shot. Once it's available, I'm going to get it because, hey, and let me express condolences to a number of members of the Taipa students who would have lost relatives. Recently, one family would have lost their relative to COVID-19. I will not call the name of the family, but however, condolences to them. And we continue to bury people. People, we are walking in the valley of the shadow of death, but fear no evil, for thou art with you. Thy rod and thy staff shall comfort you. So, and then, you can convert that into getting vaccinated. Yeah? They say a booster shot, go help you, and so on. Go get your booster shot. I can't wait until you roll out. And then we could go over the counter and order pills to take care of your COVID-19. Eventually, it's going to be that. But anyway, let's welcome our guest, and Ms. Shirley Cook. Good morning and welcome. All right, we're going to try your...
Brother B. Good morning.
Okay, good.
Good morning, Brother B.
Good to hear you, good to see you, and compliments of the season to you. And amidst all of this, this painful time, and let me give you an opportunity to send condolences to your colleague, Miss Martha Archer, the family up there.
Yes, good morning again. Good morning, Tobago. And, I'm in orange again today. That's one of our favorite colors. It's so unfortunate we have lost an icon. We have lost someone who has given to this country such human service. and make us proud. And we are indeed saddened by her passing. And I do hope that we can use her life as an example for our lives.
Very good. All right. So let's get now to tonight. Is it tonight? The conversation that CivilNet will host tomorrow night, rather. Just talk about the intent, obviously, and all the as we go forward.
Yes, brother. We, as the island of Tobago and the nation knows that CivilNet is an organization pretty new, in its about second year, and we have been hosting these conversations. We have done that since the general elections up until now, and here we are on this election trying to get information and to guide the population, to educate the population on the best choice possible to lead this island. As you know, Tobago is an inflection point, and it is important for CivilNet, a non-partisan organization, to continue to conduct these discussions, because after all, we are in modern society, and persons everywhere, as much as possible, should be educated on their political choice, who they decide to choose to run this place. So on tomorrow, starting at 8 p.m., we will have three parties presenting themselves to answer questions on how they intend to move this country forward, to answer questions on many things, many issues that has been in the public space, so that the population, the electorate, could make their choice. It's unfortunate that we do not have all the parties, but we have enough. 3 out of 4 is not bad. That is 75%, a lot more than our COVID numbers. And therefore, we are asking persons to join the conversation, to be a part of the panel, the viewing audience tomorrow, and it starts at 8 p.m., sorry.
All right. So all the leaders from all the parties, the Dr. Sayafat, the PNM, Tracy Davidson, the PDP leader, and all the others. Or is it that Tracy is not there? And tell us why.
That's correct. The People's National Movement have indicated that they have conflict in scheduling and they are unable to make this. However, like everything else, the show has to go on because the people of Tobago are the primary stakeholders in this and not the parties. These parties, as I've always said, are our servants, and they need to respond accordingly to the people, particularly at this time, because this is the most democratic action of any democracy. And therefore, we are asking persons to tune in. No one party carries the impetus of this island. We need to hear from every single one of them. Each one have chosen to respond in a particular way, and we respect that. But at this time, we are featuring who has responded. Our moderator is Mr. Attorney Martin George, and we start promptly again at 8 p.m.
Very good. And so, based on what I'm seeing there, it's Dr. Sayafat of the IDA, Fali Augustine of the PDP, and Kwesi Phillips. Nikosi Phillips of the Unity of the People.
The Unity of the People.
Yes. There was a Ricardo, he's an independent. What happened to him as well? Ricardo Phillips.
He come up as an independent. This is a chat with the chiefs, possible chiefs discussion. And as you know, Nikosi is included, even though she is still one person because she representing as a party. And based on our Tobago House of Assembly Act, our chief secretary is not chosen based on the fact that you are a political leader of a party or you are just an assemblyman. Assemblymen choose who they want for their chief secretary, and that's how the law is stated.
Okay. All right, so it's on Tobago Channel 5, on Facebook also. Just to maybe those who want to log in via Facebook and other social media platforms, just tell us the link. And
Yes, it will be on the Tobago Channel 5, of course, and it will be featured on their Facebook page, in addition on the Tobago CivilNet Facebook page. So you have 3 options to log in and be educated, be part of the conversation. We will be looking at questions from persons, letting the public understand what their party is, what their party is about. And obviously, we speak about leadership and governance, and then the party should indicate to us what are their plans, programs, and policies to move Tobago forward, particularly at this time when Tobago is at a. I mean, we know that we were dying before COVID, but now this is like we're going through a burial process that is 18 months in the making.
Very good. All right, so in closing, given just you are here to inform the public of CivilNet, and let me congratulate you on your consistency as an organization to call the parties to inform, or to, in this case, and to account to the public as to their intent and so on, and their ambitions going forward. And we want to thank you and your organization for being very, very consistent and persistent. All right, so in closing, just to wrap up, just to inform the public one more time as to how to be part of this experience.
Yes, Tobago, here is another bite at the cherry. This is another opportunity. You have heard the candidates on their platforms. You have heard them in different media outlets, and including this one. However, this is the finale time. This is the time for you to really tune in and hone in on what they are saying, and how they're facing each candidate. Is one thing to speak one-on-one with the media, but they are facing each other on a common platform, and listen to how they respond. Listen to how they articulate their vision and programs to move forward. You have that opportunity tomorrow at 8 p.m. Being streamed on Facebook, on Tobago CivilNet Facebook page, the Channel 5 Facebook page, and the Channel 5 television station. So please tune in. If you have any questions, that would probably be fielded by our backroom staff, but this is the time really for them to articulate their position. So
Very
tune
good.
in, be educated, so you can make the best choice possible.
Yes, indeed. And of course, Mr. Martin George, attorney at law, will be in attendance, and of course tonight, tomorrow, be tuned in tomorrow, and of course be part of this experience as we get from the leaders their views on issues and topics that you probably just running through your mind. All right, thank you again, Ms. Cook, and we'll be in chat, be in touch.
Thank you.
See you then.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Stay safe, Tobago.
Yes. All right. So at this point in time, we go for a break. When we come back, lots more.
Our national borders, our first step to security, a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Duke said he's willing to put up a fight to liberate Tobagonians and take the island to independence.
As the political leader of the PDP, we come down to negotiate our departure from Trinidad. We don't want Trinidad judicial system. We don't want that. We don't want to share no immigration. We don't want no air traffic control with Trinidad. We must have our own prime minister in Tobago. If it wasn't clear to you, let me tell you this. What I'm asking for is secession. What I'm asking for is secession. We need to move away from Trinidad. Constitution dissolves. There's no longer Trinidad and Tobago. There's Trinidad by itself, Tobago by itself.
Yes, yes.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement. The following is a paid political announcement.
People are asking, and they're asking because they may have a genuine concern. And they're asking because somebody somewhere starts saying, Watson Duke will become Secretary of Finance.
I said, I will be the finance minister talking to you.
And let me say categorically, Mr. Watson Solomon Duke, the next area representative or the continuing area representative for Roxborough Argyle, and who is also the president of the PSA, will not be the next Secretary of Finance.
I said, I will be the finance minister talking to you. And as finance secretary, you will be talking to me after that. And you better watch your tone.
We made some missteps along the way, and we apologize sincerely for those errors.
Assemblyman Farley made an apology on behalf of the PDP. Farley, Chavez Augustine, my assemblyman. Watson Duke always speak for himself. Nobody speak for Watson Duke, except my lawyer.
Chavez Augustine is not ready for the position as Chief Secretary.
And when I looked again at their nomination documents, ladies and gentlemen, what I saw is a party that is owned by one individual. As a matter of fact, the party can be seen not as an organization, but as an individual-led arrangement. Again, the intention is to campaign on the basis of lies.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement.
The people, the personalities, the candidates, the results. Keep viewing Tobago Channel 5 as we bring to you all the results and reactions from the party headquarters on election night, December 6, 2021 from 6 p.m. Stay with the election leader, Tobago Channel 5 for THA Elections 2021-2022, The Race for Power, Part 2.
Tune in to Tobago Channel 5 and Pulse 89.5 FM on Tuesday, 30th November at 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. for Part 1 of a THA Election special broadcast on Tobago's autonomy and economy with attorney-at-law Deborah Mormigans and Dr. Vanus James.
At Trinidad and Tobago ophthalmics, some of our services include cataract operations with normal and premium lenses, treatment for glaucoma, medical and surgical diabetic eye diseases, including bleeding eye trauma as well as retinal problems, age-related macular degeneration and retinal detachment. Please visit us at the Calder Hall Medical Center, Calder Hall, Tobago.
Welcome back. And yep, and our eye doctor is on Zoom. Let's welcome Dr. Dwarika. Dr. Dwarika, good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning. Thank you very much for being on your show again this morning.
Very good. And of course, this is our last conversation until maybe later on when you return, whenever. And so we want to thank you for being with us. All right, let's jump straight into it as to the areas you want to touch on this morning, particularly.
Yes, we'll be talking about cataracts today. It's a very common topic, and I think it's a useful thing to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's go straight into it. What is cataract and how it affects the eye and how dangerous it is?
I'm from Trinidad and Tobago Ophthalmics Company, as we said, and our location is in Calder Hall Medical Center in Scarborough, with our telephone numbers being 306-5280, 380-5215, and 368-4615. So what are cataracts? Cataracts, we hear about them all the time. And you have a natural lens in your eye, just like a glasses lens or a camera lens. And you use that lens, the camera and your glasses, just the same way your eye has a natural lens. And this natural lens is crystal clear. So it needs to be clear for you to see it. When any sort of cloudiness happens to that lens, it is called a cataract. You can have changes in color of the lens, just like a glasses lens can become smudged with fingerprints, so it could be brown and become a shades. So any change in color, it could be brown, white, and black. There could be specks on it. It could have complete covering the lens or partial coverings. That's a cataract. And they can cause blur in the vision, just like a glasses lens. If you smudge it, will cause a blur. If the normal lens in your eye has a cataract, it can cause blur and could be some slight to very severe. So imagine looking through a dirty glasses. That is what advanced cataracts would be looking like.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let me ask about, sometimes I look up into the sky without my glasses and I see these little things moving. It's called by a name. It's like, sometimes it looks like a worm, and there's sometimes more than one. And when you wipe, it doesn't go away really because it's on the pubic. You tell me, what is that, and is that any indication?
That happens to us all as we get older, and that is, they're called floaters.
Yeah, okay.
And they happen in the jelly of the eye called the vitreous. So it's nothing to be worried about. However, if you suddenly have a lot, the eye doctor needs to know about it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So how dangerous is cataracts, and how mindful we have to be when indicators, as you mentioned, or symptoms that we may brush aside, but however, it needs examination. How dangerous is cataract?
So cataract is an interesting thing, and we all get cataracts as we get older. It is a normal thing. So who is at risk of getting cataracts? Mm-hmm. So we have it happens as we get older. So we all at risk, and it all depends on the amount over time. So it's a normal aging change, and just like gray hairs, it will happen to everybody. Mm-hmm. However, if you have poor nutrition and don't eat well and there's malnutrition, there's an increased risk of early development. And this happens in underprivileged countries and poorer countries. Some families tend to have cataracts earlier. So when they have close relatives with early cataracts, it can come on, and you could give that increased risk. Some medical conditions like diabetes and Parkinson's and Down syndrome, they have a cataract associated with it. Mm-hmm. And then you could get injuries to the head and the eye, like if you have a cricket ball injury or punch or motor vehicle injury, you have increased risk of cataract. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, you could have ones that you're born with. So these are children of mothers who had infections during pregnancy, or they had some congenital deformity or problems, so you could have cataracts like that. So yes, cataracts is a present thing in all of us, but it becomes dangerous if it's...
Mm-hmm. Can children get cataract?
The answer is yes, but it's rare. It's those who are born with an increased risk. That's people who, let us say, their mothers have some infections during pregnancy. They have the torch type of diseases. They can have earlier cataracts. Some families have an increased tendency to inherit it, so they have a strong they could have early cataracts. Or if they get injuries like blows or bumps. Why it's important in children is if the cataract causes the vision to drop severely, unlike an adult where we could do a cataract surgery and bring them up to normal. If a child gets it and their vision is severely affected, you lose the window of bringing back their vision. So these children need to have, as we stressed before, have regular annual checkups so that if these things are happening, we could treat it and sort it out.
Mm-hmm. And how does cataract affect a person's vision?
So as we said before, cataracts happen to us all as we get older. So the majority of us who have cataracts have no problems with their vision. Now, as cataracts start to cause more issues, like if it becomes towards the center of the lens, it can cause the vision to become blurry. And we've noticed we're not just focusing as normal. We find that we normally people say their glasses needs changing, they need to go and have it checked. Sometimes you can have glare issues. You know, you're driving down the road when the sun is really bright and you notice everything is glary, and you might need a shades to drive, or you're driving at night and the headlights give problems. These can be some of the presentations, and of course later on we get the cataracts we are accustomed to about hearing. It's when the people don't see at all. The cataract gets so dense, it's like having your glasses lens painted over with paint and you can't see. So you get an eventual blindness.
Mm-hmm. Should regular testing for cataract be done?
And the answer to that, of course, is going to be yes. You should have regular eye examinations, as we say, annually for children, annually for young adults. Adults will be every 2 years and elderly every year. Mm-hmm. The eye doctor will be able to eye problems and adequately treat them. And one of these eye problems would be cataract. And it allows us now to act early.
And how is cataract treated?
So cataract treatment is a very interesting thing. Because most of us have cataract as an aging change, just like gray hairs, we don't all need to dye our hair or shave our heads or so on. With cataract, once the doctor says you have cataract, doesn't mean that you have to intervene. We intervene when it affects vision. So the first thing we do is to try to decrease our risk of getting them. We do not know how to prevent them totally. But we know if we have a healthy diet, we could significantly reduce the risk. If we prevent eye injuries, we could decrease that risk. If we have regular checkups, then if we have problems associated with cataracts, we could sort it out. Now, when vision is affected, it's a different story. Most cataract type vision problems can be corrected by changing the glasses or updating it. So when the patients present, after they have their thorough examination, the glasses are checked. And then if they think the glasses will fix the problem or give you a reasonable improvement, we advise our glasses change. Sometimes we might say shades and bright lights and so on. But if we reach a stage where the vision is severely affected, and it is due to the cataract, we need to fix the cataract. And for that, you need something called cataract surgery.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what we'll do, we'll go to the break, and when we come back, we deal with cataract surgery and how the procedure is done, and lots more after the break. So, see you after the break, Doc.
Okay.
Visit Sew Amazing Limited for all your sewing machine needs. We supply, service and repair all types of sewing machines. We provide 2 weeks warranty on all service and repairs. Check us out at Unit 4, D Plaza Dutch Fort Scarborough, Tobago for our specialty Singer domestic heavy duty machines. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Call us at 309-6350 and 710-4749 or WhatsApp for technical assistance.
In these unsure financial times, protection of your hard-earned financial assets is a priority. We at MI4 Security Cash in Transit Service are sure to grant you peace of mind. Fully insured services. Call us today at 660-7723 or 635-2144. MI4 Security Services Company Limited, keeping Tobago safe.
Who say you had to go to town to get the best in wholesale prices? Check out Goldsboro Minimart today for the best in wholesale and retail prices. We have Coca-Cola, Smalta, Malta, juice, 10 kg powder soap, 5 liter dishwasher liquid, 5 liter fabric softener, detergents, and so much more. And newly added to our shelves, genuine parts for trucks and pickups. Mitsubishi, Kia, Hyundai, Nissan, and Isuzu. Check Goldsboro Minimart, located Goldsboro Main Road, conveniently open Sunday to Friday, 7 a.m. to sunset. Contact us today at 660-4095.
Visit McCorney Home Depot Limited in Richmond in their spanking new and spacious showroom. Get all your hardware needs, building materials, including blocks, steel, cement, and sand, household items, plumbing and electrical supplies, paint, tools, toilet sets, doors, ceiling fans, steel products, and much more. McCorney Home Depot Limited in Richmond. Catering from foundation to finish. Open Sunday to Friday from 8 a.m.
The following is a paid political announcement.
We must defend Watson Solomon Duke every step of the way.
I'm not looking for friends. I'm looking for money. I'm not looking for friends. I'm looking for money.
We must defend him.
There's some dirty, stinking girls. These are my dirty, stinking girls.
I find you all an answer in me now. Say we must defend him.
Their pension plan is not registered with the central bank. In another country, he would have been making a jail by now.
We must defend him.
I'm asking all black people. You can see the way they catch monkeys is that they give them something to hold.
We must defend Watson Solomon Duke every step of the way.
I see Duke pelt up candle at you like in a liga burn. I see in a liga burn from a candle Duke pelt.
We must defend him.
Mr. Duke has been in office since 2009, and we have not seen a change at all to his Idi Amin dictatorship.
We must defend him.
As a politician, I have an expectation that is extremely high for myself, for my colleagues.
This looks totally hot.
We must defend Watson Solomon Duke every step of the way.
Mr. Duke was officially charged on Sunday with 1 count of rape and 4 counts of sexual assault. All charges were laid indictably, so he was not called upon to plead.
I find you all an answer in me now. Say we must defend him.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement. The following is a paid political announcement.
Every employee in Tobago, I call upon you tonight to listen. To listen. Because you see, if we do not listen, tomorrow morning, if we make the mistake on December 6th, we could be in a position that we will regret for a long period of our life. And as a trade unionist, my brothers and sisters, I know of what I speak. I know and understand the language of labor, my brothers and sisters. And because I do, it is my obligation, it is my responsibility to warn the people, the employees of Tobago, of impending danger. Nobody can control Watson. Everybody knows that. And it was him who said on the platform on many occasions, one, that those people with the red flags, there will be no mercy for them. And if it's one thing we have to take seriously about Watson, is those threats, because we have evidence. We have evidence. When you look in the PSA, in the internal election, everybody who would have opposed him, he fired from the PSA. And I know of what I speak. More than those persons who he's promising to punish with disdain and treat with scant courtesy. More than those PNM people who may be employed in the various divisions. And let me tell you this, because of how the Tobago House of Assembly is structured, the secretaries are the ones who signs off the final employment contracts, of course in consultation with the administrator. So everyone who is employed in this administration, it can be assumed that they are PNM, because it's a PNM administration that would have hired them. It's a PNM secretary who would have signed off the contract, and they can be understood to be PNM. And I tell you, my brothers and sisters, all contract workers within the Tobago House of Assembly, be you PNM, be you whoever you are, you need to protect your job from December 6th.
On December 6th, take no chance. Protect your future. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement.
The people, the personalities, the candidates, the results. Keep viewing Tobago Channel 5 as we bring to you all the results and reactions from the party headquarters on election night, December 6, 2021 from 6 p.m. Stay with the election leader, Tobago Channel 5 for THA Elections 2021-2022, The Race for Power, Part 2.
Tune in to Tobago Channel 5 and Pulse 89.5 FM on Tuesday, 30th November at 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. for Part 1 of a THA Election special broadcast on Tobago's autonomy and economy with attorney-at-law Deborah Mormigans and Dr. Vanus James.
At Trinidad and Tobago Ophthalmics, some of our services include cataract operations with normal and premium lenses, treatment for glaucoma, medical and surgical diabetic eye diseases, including bleeding eye trauma as well as retinal problems, age-related macular degeneration and retinal detachment. Please visit us at the Calder Hall Medical Center, Calder Hall, Tobago.
Welcome back, and we continue our conversation with Dr. Dwarika, doctor, and of course we continue our conversation about cataracts, and we were at the point where surgery, is eye surgery or is cataract surgery safe?
Right, so I will take this opportunity to say in the treatment plan, once somebody has cataracts that are affecting you somewhat, you don't need eye surgery urgently. Eye surgery for cataract is very rarely an emergency situation. We have some, but those are very rare. For the majority of us, you can take your time, plan your surgery, and have it when it is appropriate to you. Obviously, during this period of time, your vision will remain what it is, but you do not have a rush. So once you're functioning reasonably, then you could make your plans. And once cataract surgery has been determined the way forward, and you want to have it done because it's indicated to improve your vision, then it becomes the way to treat the cataract. There is no alternative to surgery if one has to treat existing cataracts. And nothing melts the cataract. You can't take drugs, you can't take supplements. Now, the cataract surgery is a permanent cure for cataract. It is a one-off treatment, so once it is done, you do not have to repeat cataract surgery. Mm-hmm. Well, we'll tell you what is it, and I'll tell you the safety. In cataract surgery, what we do is take off the natural lens from your eye. That is the part that is cloudy. So imagine if your glasses lens is scratched up and painted up, we could replace that with a new glasses lens. In someone's eye, we could take that natural lens off and when it's cloudy and it's cataractous, and put a clear natural lens, which is a clear artificial lens, which replaces that and does the same job. Now, these surgeries have a 99% success rate. But all surgeries, regardless of which one you do, will always carry some risks. And the risk with cataract surgery is really small. Less than 1 in 1,000 of a serious problem happening, like bleeding, infection, or blindness. So you have a very small risk, but a very high success rate. Most of these surgeries are done with the patient awake. So their eyes are numbed up, so no pain is felt. The patient lies down, and for about 15 minutes, the surgery takes. After that, the patient goes home the same day. By the next day, it's normal to walk around as usual, and it heals up fully in about a month. For standard surgeries, we expect these patients to wear glasses for reading again, because their lenses will give high quality of vision, but the glasses bring out the quality. we expect if somebody's eyes are healthy to start with, their vision quality will come up to like when they were 20 years old, except that you need to put your glasses on to read. So it's a very safe procedure where we remove this cloudy lens. Now, some types of cataract surgery, we could specially tailor the intraocular lens we put in, that is the replacement lens. And these special lenses will allow you to see near and far without glasses. So when you have the discussion with your doctor, you could find out if you're eligible for those lenses.
All right, so tell us the cost of the surgery.
Now, the cost of cataract surgery is we have to determine the cost to the patient. Now, cataract surgery cataracts are reversible and they're preventable with surgery from becoming a problem. And the type and the cost to the patient is the patient, if they don't have the surgery, will lose vision. Their quality of life will decrease. They will stop being able to look after their family. You wouldn't be able to read and to drive, so you have an immense cost, and that slowly comes on. If we identify that the cataract is the primary cause of surgery, not surgery, but the cause of the vision loss, then doing cataract surgery will let the patient now be able to return to a normal quality of life. So they improve your lifestyle, they improve the ability to perform the job, and their contribution to society is very much enhanced. So that is a positive cost, positive to the patient, so it doesn't cause them a loss of livelihood. But they have to make that step forward. Now, the surgery types are very varied, but the standard types are the ones we use, which are called phacoemulsification. And at this point in time, we're offering a 40% discount from all prices. And we have the payment plans available. The important thing is cataract surgery requires the will to do it, the activity of a skilled, experienced surgeon, and the ability of the patient to follow some minor instructions. So overall, the cost to the patient is a net earning because their quality of life is much improved at whichever stage of life, because the adults or elderly will benefit from this, and there is no age limitation to cataract surgery.
All right, so let's now recap details, contact, and all of that.
So just to recap, cataracts are situations that we can treat. They can cause blindness, but it's all correctable. Most cataracts do not need treatment, and we all get them. When vision is affected, if glasses can be used, we use that first. But if glasses cannot, then cataract surgery is required. Cataract surgery is a very successful surgery with a 99% success rate and a low complication rate. And with a skilled surgeon, quality of life will be severely improved. At Trinidad and Tobago Ophthalmics, cataract surgery of all types, complicated and standard, are our specialty. We're located at Calder Hall Medical Center in Scarborough. Our telephone numbers are 306-5280, 380-5215, and 368-4615. We're available by phone contact 24/7, so if you have any cataract-related issues, we will feel free to let us know.
And there are walk-ins as well. Let's say someone, can just walk in?
Yes, most definitely. You can just walk into our clinic days and we'll accommodate you.
Very good. All right, Dr. Dorica, we want to thank you very much for being with us. Compliments of the season to you and your family, and all the best. And do enjoy your Christmas with your family, yes?
And to you and yours as well.
Very good. All right. Thank you, sir. And that would be the end of the series thus far. The last, yes, I was told by my producer. And so, again, ensure that you take care of your eyes. Very, very important. And, I am due for a checkup, yeah? So I have to go and see about that. All right, let's go for the break. When we come back, we continue with Nigel Tate and Mr. Pollard of the PDP. Signal Hill, Patience Hill for Mr. Tate, and Mason Mariah for Mr. Ian Pollard. See you then.
At Trinidad and Tobago ophthalmics, some of our services include cataract operations with normal and premium lenses, treatment for glaucoma, medical and surgical diabetic eye diseases, including bleeding eye trauma as well as retinal problems, age-related macular degeneration and retinal detachment. Please visit us at the Calder Hall Medical Center, Calder Hall, Tobago.
When you need electronics, find what you want quickly at Ted Electronics. We have tons of brand name items in smartphones, tablets, LCD and smart TVs, headphones and speakers. For the best in electronics, check Ted. Amazing service and the lowest prices guaranteed. Located upstairs Moosehead Plaza, Bethany Road, Tobago. Ted Electronics, your ideal choice for electronics.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I place in the center of this meeting tonight the proposed Scarborough Waterfront Development Project, and you can see it on the screen. We have already put aside $60 million for the start of this project. Already we have secured over $37 million through the IADB investment. And so we have been developing the plans and we have been finalizing the rollout of this plan that will see for the first time a new and improved Scarborough. What does it include? It includes a new boardwalk. It includes a parkade, an upgrade of the Scarborough Esplanade. There is going to be a marketplace. There is going to be a food court. And when I talk about food court, I'm talking about restaurants, I'm talking about bars, I'm talking about cafes, and I'm talking about entertainment spaces. The new Scarborough will be digital. Remember, we are talking about technology and taking Tobago to a new height. And so we will have information booths, and those booths will talk about the history and cultural norms and ways of life of our people. And so the project will be solar powered. Drainage and infrastructural work will be in place. And most importantly, there is a start date, which is January 2022, immediately after the Christmas season has ended. And with that project, we will be able to create more jobs, over 200 jobs. With that project, we will be able to encourage entrepreneurship, because we are talking about restaurants, we are talking about bars. With that project, we can go to them on the international market to say that we are moving Tobago in the right direction. And with the airports completed, with the hotels coming in, we are expecting to see more tourists come into the island as well. And with more tourists, there will be more flights. So the flights that I talk about from the Scandinavian countries and from North America, they will come because Tobago's product is being developed. And this is what our people would want to see. And so this 18-month first phase project will see a Scarborough like we have never seen it before.
Take no chance. Protect your future. On December 6th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement.
It's time to elevate.
Greetings in the name of Jesus Christ, our soon and coming King. I am Minister Cassandra Powder, here to encourage you to dare to be different. Think the unthinkable, for we serve a God that has no limits, no boundaries. It's time to elevate.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Tobagonians, owning a parcel of land is almost every Tobagonian's dream. They are saying they will provide 2,000 lots for Tobagonians, for you. But let's go back to basics and do the maths. In 20 years, they developed 116 lots in Coreland and 44 lots in Bell Garden, a total of 160 lots. Lots they cannot even give out. 20 years, 160 lots, that's 8 lots per year. Yes, 8 lots. At this rate, it will take them 250 years to fulfill this promise. Yes, 10 generations. Scarborough, Mount Grace, leave the empty promises. Leave games and old talk behind. Vote Trevor Williamson James for better performance. Vote PDP for action, for a future where your dreams are fulfilled now.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement.
Tune in to Tobago Channel 5 and Pulse 89.5 FM on Tuesday, 30th November at 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. for Part 1 of a THA election special broadcast on Tobago's autonomy and economy with attorney-at-law Deborah Mormigans and Dr. Vanis James.
The people, the personalities, the candidates, the results. Keep viewing Tobago Channel 5 as we bring to you all the results and reactions from the party headquarters on election night, December 6, 2021 from 6 p.m. Stay with the election leader, Tobago Channel 5 for THA Elections 2021-2022, The Race for Power, Part 2.
Good morning, Tobago. Thank you for joining us today, Tuesday, 30th November 2021, for the Rise and Shine Morning News. The Elections and Boundaries Commission, the EBC, in a recent letter, informed the political leaders of parties contesting the upcoming Tobago House of Assembly election about its plan to increase the use of technology at polling stations in the upcoming Tobago House of Assembly election. The process, termed a pilot project, will introduce a data entry poll clerk with the responsibility of electronically identifying the voters present and who have voted. The process will work in tandem with the already existing manual version of crossing off the names of persons who have voted on the revised list of electors. As such, it will not replace the manual process. The project will be piloted at the 13 polling stations located in the electoral districts of Scarborough, Mount Grace and Mount St. George, Goodwood only. The EBC stated that the new process is expected to give the Commission the ability to access voter turnout in real time, streamline workflow for post-election reports, and increase efficiency in the process. The Progressive Democratic Patriots, the PDP, says it is suspicious of the timing of the EBC's move to introduce the pilot project a week before the Tobago House of Assembly's elections. PDP's political leader, Watson Duke, spoke on the issue last evening during a spot meeting in Delaford. Here is more.
The political leader of the PDP, Watson Duke, says he is suspicious of the Elections and Boundaries Commission's notice that they are planning to pilot an electronic system to record people who cast votes at polling stations in the Mount St. George, Goodwood and Scarborough, Mount Grace electoral districts. He says he got the notice on Sunday evening.
In that letter, EBC is now saying to us they want to try some electronic gimmickry. Some electronic thing in the voting thing.
According to Duke, the timing of the announcement is fishy.
Now I ask myself, why, and then asking me for my opinion, why is it that they're trying to do all of these things? If they know they was doing that, why didn't they bring in the international observers who are more learned than I?
Duke says when he wrote to the Prime Minister requesting international observers, the response was that they would be requested if they were deemed necessary.
And Raul is quiet. They're distracting you with Watson. Farley. They are quiet. But right underneath our nose, they are practicing mischief.
He wants supporters not to be fooled. He alleges the government is using state resources to control the elections.
They are doing everything in their power to win this election. And they have the police on standby. Because if you know police, they carry out orders. They don't come to talk and lie and engage in reasoning. They come to enforce the law.
Candace Jackson, Channel 5 News.
Meanwhile, the EBC's Chief Elections Officer, Fern Narcis-Scope, says the Commission has received no official queries on the pilot project. She told Channel 5 News the system was just recently devised, as the Commission is always looking at ways to improve the electoral process. She says the Commission felt it had an opportunity to improve its data collection, giving figures in real time, and the only way to test the system would be during an election. She says the EBC stands ready to listen and address any concerns. One of the COVID-19 pandemic challenges was that students from kindergarten to secondary schools were upended. One secondary school to assist came up with a challenge to take students from behind their computers and into the outdoors. Here is more.
As the pandemic carried on in 2021, the Signal Secondary School PTA developed the Eat, Grow and Learn GEL program. Under the theme, Every Student a Successful Farmer, students were given a total of 14 seedlings to plant and care for 2 months. They were given cucumbers, tomatoes, lettuce, sweet peppers, pimentos, parsley and okras. The students were asked to submit weekly photos showing the seedlings' progress. At the prize-giving function for the first installment, Principal Xavier King congratulated but challenged the PTA.
It's something that should continue because just now we may have to feed ourselves. Already the supply chain is being interrupted because of COVID and so on, and we are not getting things as we ought to, and if they are here, they are very expensive.
As such, it is critical for schools to play a role.
So we need to start from young and develop that attitude of agriculture into our students.
The hard work and dedication paid off for Deja Lane, Harry of 3A5, who topped the challenge and took home the challenge trophy. The Teacher Weeks of 3A1 was the first runner-up. The school thanked the Backyard Plant Shop in Bonaccord for providing the seedlings at a reduced price. All students from Forms 1 to 6 were eligible to participate during the July-August vacation. Camille McKechnie, Channel 5 News.
And in today's weather report, initially fair conditions will increase in cloudiness by late morning, accompanied by occasional showers in some areas. Nighttime will be partly cloudy with a few showery interruptions. Today's temperatures should reach a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius and fall to 24 degrees Celsius. Thank you for joining us for the Rise and Shine Morning News. I am Lindian Parks. Do join us at 6:30 p.m. for the full Channel 5 newscast. Do enjoy your day.
At Trinidad and Tobago ophthalmics, some of our services include cataract operations with normal and premium lenses, treatment for glaucoma, medical and surgical diabetic eye diseases, including bleeding eye trauma as well as retinal problems, age-related macular degeneration and retinal detachment. Please visit us at the Calder Hall Medical Center, Calder Hall, Tobago.
When you need electronics, find what you want quickly at Ted Electronics. We have tons of brand name items in smartphones, tablets, LCD and smart TVs, headphones and speakers. For the best in electronics, check TED. Amazing service and the lowest prices guaranteed. Located upstairs Moosehead Plaza, Bethany Road, Tobago. TED Electronics, your ideal choice for electronics.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I place in the center of this meeting tonight the proposed Scarborough Waterfront Development Project, and you can see it on the screen. We have already put aside $60 million for the start of this project. Already, we have secured over $37 million through the IADB investment. And so we have been developing the plans and we have been finalizing the rollout of this plan that will see for the first time a new and improved Scarborough.
Come back, and of course, let me apologize for the change. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We do have on set Mrs. Orisha Hackett, and she's replacing Ian Pollard and, of course, Mr. Tate. But anyway, it's a pleasure to have you. I was wondering when you were coming. I remember you were supposed to come, and then you're not coming. Now you're here. All right. Very good. All right, so let's deal with your electoral district, which is Bethesda, Lekato.
Yes.
And of course, you were, the last time you were Lekato.
Plymouth Golden Lane.
Yes, good.
Yes,
all
which
right.
included Lekato, of course.
All right. So let's get the demarcation of
Right.
the land space.
So previously, the district was called Plymouth Golden Lane, and it included the village of Plymouth, the sub-village of Bethesda, Lekato Golden Lane, and part of Mariah Woodlands. And now, polling station 4955, which is Plymouth Anglican Primary School, has been removed from the district, and we've added 4951, which was a part of the Blackrock Wim Spring Garden district. So now I have all of Lekato, where previously I only had half of that village. So it's Bethesda, Lekato, Golden Lane, and Woodlands.
Wow.
So only one part of the original district has been removed, and we have a sub-part of it being added in Lekato.
Okay.
So it's...
If there is one person that is passionate about leadership and governance, is Orisha Hackett.
Yes, I...
Your energy is out there. We feel
I'm more
your...
passionate about representation.
Well, right. Well, okay. Let me put it there. And, and so what have you been able to do during the 8 months leading up to this final election in that electoral district, which, you know, except for Plymouth?
Yes.
But just speak about what you would have been doing and how it's been.
Yes. So, Brother B, one of the things that I was able to do is to have people dream again. To have people really see that, you know, you don't need the money, you don't need all the fancy things to have a community going again. And this was the biggest test we had in this pandemic. I mean, the pandemic coupled with the 6/6 deadlock didn't really give us the opportunities to really be out there and to really get the things we wanted to get happening. But you had to become creative in this time, and that is what I did. I had to look at the things we could get done without being able to pull from the resources of the THA directly, and use my voice and use my advocacy and use the support of the district. Every single villager's voice was, you know, held in high regard and esteem, and that is what I was able to do. Listen to the people and see what we could get done with limited resources and in the wake of a pandemic. So we did a lot of community initiatives initiated by the people. You know, the people were able to look at what the district plans were before, you know, me getting into governance. And they were able to choose what was priority for them. And that's what we did. We just looked at the areas we could accomplish, and we were able to actually get some of those things
All right,
done.
let's leave Lekato and let's separate Lekato a little bit.
Okay.
Given what has been happening on the ground with you, what are you confronted with? Baudong met me and said, Brother B, I have a Tiantek line running over my land. And as she came, I don't remember, you wouldn't believe me. And that has been an issue that you had to deal with.
Yes,
What is the status with that situation?
Well, let me tell you, first of all, good morning, Baudong. I call him my second dad. Baudong has adopted me as his very own.
Yes.
Right now, so not only Baudong, but we had a general issue with electricity shortages in Lekato. Frequent, unannounced shortages. And the complaints were so many that, you know, of course, the area representative's voice had to be heard. So I would have written to Mr. Kendall Francis, the area manager of TNTech, and, you know, expressed the concern, you know, the unannounced shortages. And, of course, quick response, very timely, very clear and concise message explaining that, you know, there was generally an issue. And, you know, he made a promise to communicate better, and they would have done that. But with the issue of the electricity line, let me tell you, He's not the only person with challenges like that.
Okay.
Where electricity lines or other utility lines would have been running on persons' properties. The thing about it is the space to put those poles would have been the challenges, and most of these poles are old poles. But the commitment to replace them with more resources has been forthcoming from TNTech. Big up TNTech. And that's the thing, when the area representative advocates on behalf of the people, that attention is placed, as opposed to the village or the resident trying to advocate on their behalf. And that is the importance of representation. And you didn't need to be sitting on an executive council to have something like that happen, but just having persons access you, the representative, and you understanding how these things are meaningful to them and standing up for and with them is what this was all about. And I think it was the best practice ever this last 11 months. Not directly being on the executive council, but still being able to truly represent the people with limited resources.
Very good. Listen, and we know and we feel you. You know, you're not fake. You know, and we're getting the energy that you are going to do well, and we wish you the best. It's not an endorsement, all it's just me saying that we wish you the best.
You've always.
All right, so let's go now to so we get that from the community of Lekoto.
Yes.
The challenges, and I want to go to Golden Lane. Yes, which is part of here.
Yes.
Golden Lane have a number of historical sites.
Yes.
The Gangang Serious Peace, and I call it that. You spoke about what you would have done then, but given the falling of the Silk Cotton tree, however, there are a number of tombs in that space where this house is, where these people live. And it's an attraction by itself.
Yes, it is.
What are the intent? What is the
So just as I said the last time, that has not changed. You see that community spirit that's sitting with the community and having consultations on how best to, to promote and market the space. That is what has to happen. And I think too many times we have politicians just stepping in and making a decision without consulting the people. And so Golden Lane in its entirety is a historical site, and all the sites there are connected because the Gangan Sarah's grave in Seaview, all right? When you're telling that story, it's good to point out where the actual Silk Cotton tree, where, we speak about her trying to fly and she ate salt. And, so the entire story is there. The thing about it is, Brother B and Tobago, as I said before and I've been saying all the time, when you don't consult with the people, you end up putting, projects and initiatives in their space that they are not buying into. And if you don't have a community buying into something, then it doesn't serve the purpose. And so that community wants us to make a monument out of the Silk Cotton tree. And there has been some consultations, even with the Division of Tourism and Culture. The thing about it is, we have this start and stop type of scenario where we don't follow through and get to the end of it. But that's one of the things I want to advocate on when, should I say when?
Okay. Yeah.
When I resume this role, I'm speaking it into existence of area representative. And when you hear the people's ideas, listen, no politician can come up with these ideas. The heart of the district, the heart of the village, they are the ones that gives you what they want to see in their district. And when you hear it, I am very creative and my mind is always out of the box. But when you hear the ideas coming from the very youngest to the oldest in the district as to how they want to see their district promoted and marketed, listen to me. The wealth of information is there, and you as the area representative is only supposed to be the facilitator of these dreams and not dictate it, you know? So those persons, the Bacchuses and the Kings and so on, that live on that property. Good morning, Isis. Yeah, they have so many plans for that. And when you hear the plans, all you have to do is embrace it. Embrace it by maintaining that connectivity and that connection to the district without changing the landscape and the face of it.
Okay, so let's embrace it now. And what you got the ideas from them, how you intend to put, and what is it? They said they wanted a toilet facility for the guests when they come. Talk to us about the restructuring of that space and to make it tourism friendly.
So, one of the things I think doesn't happen in the Tobago House of Assembly is the collaboration between area representative and the secretary with responsibility for, whichever area. And I think that shortcoming is an issue. So you may have a secretary who's not necessarily the area representative, having plans, not incorporating the area representative who, on behalf of the people, would have had a vision for whatever that area is, whether it's tourism, historical, or whatever. And let me tell you, as I said before, coming up with the ideas must be where you have the people front and center of whatever that vision is. And things change. Persons may have had a plan in January, and now you're saying, listen, we could do this way. And so the constant consultation is required. The overall vision for that, I call it the cemetery hill, that overall vision has not ultimately changed. You want persons living in and around the area so they themselves can be the tour guides. They themselves can tell the history. They themselves can find some economic stability right in their home, you know, and everybody in Golden Lane knows the story. How beautiful will that be for, you know, tourists, domestic and foreign, coming into that village, and everybody from the youngest child to the oldest person being able to share that story. And of course the residents on the actual property, being the tour guides, being the cooks, being the entertainers, and bringing persons in to also share in that promotion of Cemetery Hill. So yes, I am going to aggressively pursue that with my district when I
yes, okay. Let's go now to young people, and of course you're a young person yourself, and there are issues that you would be confronted with in
all the
district, and let's go there, wherever, whether it's Bethesda, Lekato, Golden Lane. Tell me, what are you been confronted with by a number of young people who would say, Zorisha, you know, I really want to, but here what happening now? Tell us, what are the problems that they
One of the things I was confronted with last year on my first run was unemployment and that need and desire for a morning walk. And what I was able to do in the last 11 months is to pull persons out of that stereotypical employment desire for just something to make ends meet and try to channel their energies into becoming young entrepreneurs. When you ask them what they want to do, everybody has a passion or goal, you know, but because they feel as if they're not pushed or not given that, what, you know, we love to say, that hand up as opposed to a handout, out of frustration, they settle for less. And what I was able to do is realize that so many persons have passion in fishing. Persons have interest in agriculture. Persons have interest in the arts, music. We have so many young talented musicians, and persons just willing to have that start of their own business. Of course, the pandemic would have made some persons shy away from becoming entrepreneurs because you're seeing the risk of trying to, you know, launch out there on your own with some economic instability. But when you hear these persons, when you tell them, forget about the morning walk, let's think of what you really want to do. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? And when they tell you what their passions are, you know, I really think I can be a boat builder. And you wouldn't expect that from young persons because, you know, you're thinking that they're thinking outside of that. But the creativity is there, and they just want persons to push them. They just want that drive. And when you explain to them, listen, everybody doesn't have to be a doctor, lawyer, teacher, politician. You know, you can be the best boat builder. And so many persons, especially of that age group, have not been getting into the traditional, you know, occupations of the older generation. That when you hear a younger person saying they want to be a boat builder or a farmer, you're taken aback and you really want to push them forward. So, Brother B, I want to be able to facilitate and enhance and push that inner desire to become self-sufficient in my young persons. I want them to understand you don't need to depend on the Tobago House of Assembly for employment. And then you can also form yourself as cooperatives. So you on your own, you know, you may be thinking it's a risk, a financial or investment risk if I do it alone. But if you collaborate with like-minded individuals, then there's strength in numbers.
All right, so let's go there and let's stay there with training. I bring in training into perspective.
Yes.
Because you are taking on a literacy training program.
Yes, and a life coaching program.
And a life coaching program. So let's say that I want to be a boat builder or a shipwright, and I live in Golden Lane. But however, all I have is the skills. I could put them wood together. I could build a nice boat where you got fiberglass and so on. But however, I don't know how to market. I really can't read and write and think. But I had the skill. What is provided in your vision for people like that? Because there are thousands of them out there.
Yes. Right. So the thing is, you remember I just spoke to you about cooperatives, that cooperative model. You may have persons, they're interested in boats, but they can't build. You have persons can build, but they can't market.
Exactly.
Right? And so pulling these like minds together in one space has to be the goal. You have to have the persons who may just be able to do that pitch, that sales pitch, with the persons who may be able to do the drawings, with the persons who can actually do the labor, all right? And then you want the actual fishermen to buy in now, right there in the community. So as area representative, and anybody else, you don't have to be an area representative for this, but anybody who wants to see a community move forward, and you want to see the youth off the streets, you have to have that vision of, listen, you know, I just heard someone down the road speaking about their talent in architecture, and someone up the road said they can build. let's pull these persons together, right? And then you pull these persons together and let them understand their weight and their power in marketing as well. And my chief secretary in waiting, Fali Augustine, has always lamented on the fact that our marketing department doesn't do more on marketing. And it doesn't mean that they have to necessarily do the marketing, but training in marketing could be one of the, one of the aims and goals of that marketing division or department, sorry. And so we, as a community and as an island, we have to understand that everybody would not be able to be employed with the Tobago House of Assembly, and we have to push some more self-sufficiency and that entrepreneurship and that creativity and that drive from persons who have the passion, have the ambition, but they just need that push.
All right, let's go into culture. And I don't know if you would know, Leketo had one of the strongest and long-lasting cultural, led by Dr. Bob Verlene Lewis, Bob Lewis. And I don't know if you know of it, but they
yes, I
existed.
do, because you have to. You're representing a community.
Okay, you must know the history, right?
Yes, you
all
have
right,
to know the history.
So that group, the Leketo folk performers, bamboo dance, and you name the dances that Leketo would have been known for in the heyday of Leketo. All right, so let's bring the community of Leketo into culture and the role that it played then and is still playing now. They are the longest and the longest lasting group that perform folk tales and superstition for heritage from the inception
They're called the folklore capital of the world.
Let me bring that into perspective and see how that can earn foreign exchange using the culture and thereby employing others, young people and so on. Is that in your focus?
So let me tell you, of course it is. And one of the things I'm so disappointed about is the fact that we only push the culture and the heritage at one point or period in the year.
Go ahead.
If you are really serious about tourism, you have a product marketed 24/7, 365. If a Trinidadian comes to Tobago, I mean, we're in the pandemic now, but we have to prepare for when we have to deal with this. But we have to prepare for when it's time to open up. And one of the things that I lament is the fact that if it's not July, August, you can't hear these folklore and superstitions. If it's not a specific event, you can't get the culture and the passion and the fire out of the people. We should have hubs in every district, just the same way we have this Pembroke, this area where the culture and the arts are showcased. Why doesn't every district have that? And my district boasts of not only the Leketo folklore and superstition, but we have the courtship codes in Golden Lane and the old time carnival right next door there. Can you imagine at any given point in time, even if it's once a month, Brother B, you have this cultural explosion in the district. And it doesn't always have to be a marketing for tourists. Persons right here are going to support that. They're looking forward to it. You can show off, make an inter-district competition who has the best cultural explosion, and you can rotate it so you don't have clashes with those days. Let me tell you, that brings out the food vendors, that brings out the persons who are into the craft, the batik and all of that, so all the artisans can be involved. And then of course you can have some training facilities where you teach people and then sell these items, the tambu bamboo and the tambourine and all of that. When you walk into Bowdong's gallery on any given point in time, he has over 15, 16 tambourines just there waiting to be sold, and he's there yearning to teach this. Can you imagine? You're coming, you're learning to build this thing here, you're playing it over here, you're being a part of the folklore experience. You yourself can jump in as a character in the play on spot. You know what I mean? And I'm so passionate about this. It's like I can see it happening. But where was the creativity all along, Brother B? I mean, the persons just want that push, and that is what an area representative is supposed to.
Well, listen, I just couldn't wait for you to be here. However, the time has come where we got to wrap.
Already?
Yes, it is. But I want to get from you why should the constituency vote for Zorisha Hackett to represent them? In closing, make your final appeal.
So, Bethesda, Leketo, Golden Lane, and Woodlands. I was just like you a year and a half ago, just yearning for better representation, just yearning for better governance on this island, and I took a stand to represent you. And that's the thing, persons asked me to do it. I didn't think about it, and persons asked me, and I gave it a try. And I remained on the ground in spite of this 6-6 deadlock, because representation doesn't mean you sit in an executive council. Representation means standing up for your people, being the voice, being the heart, being the soul of your people, and understanding that you have to do this together. And so I'm coming back to you. You saw me, you saw my worth, you understand how much I give, how passionate I am, and you know what you can get from me for another 4 years. And the thing is, I don't plan to spend all my life, the remainder of my life, in representation. But I want to be able to come and make a difference and have someone mentored, someone who we can utilize succession planning, just to have the district always have the freshest, newest voice, persons who are passionate like me. And I'm asking you for your support once again. We're going to continue all the plans we've had for this district together. And I thank you for supporting me in the last 11 months.
Well, all the best to you and your
Thank
spirit.
you for the
You're so positive, and
Thank
all
you.
the best to you. All right? All right. And of course, on Facebook, we want to thank all of you. If you see likes, and of course, they're loving you. And all the best to you. All right? So at this point in time, we go for a break. When we come back, we have the PDP candidate for Mason Moriah, the PNM rather, candidate, Mr. Lawrence Hislop. See you after the break.
Visit Sew Amazing Limited for all your sewing machine needs. We supply, service and repair all types of sewing machines. We provide 2 weeks warranty on all service and repairs. Check us out at Unit 4, D Plaza Dutch Fort Scarborough, Tobago for our specialty Singer domestic heavy duty machines. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Call us at 309-6350 and 710-4749 or WhatsApp for technical assistance.
When you need electronics, find what you want quickly at Ted Electronics. We have tons of brand name items in smartphones, tablets, LCD and smart TVs, headphones and speakers. For the best in electronics, check Ted. Amazing service and the lowest prices guaranteed. Located upstairs Moosehead Plaza, Bethany Road, Tobago. Ted Electronics, your ideal choice for electronics.
The following is a paid political announcement.
The PNM is in full support of culture. We will showcase, strengthen, and provide exposure to Tobagoan designers by creating an annual fashion show with grant funding to participants.
PNM, we getting it done. We building it up.
We upgraded and constructed pan theaters for Carib Dixieland, Cats and Jammers, and East Side Steel Band Orchestra.
We getting it done. PNM, we building it up. PNM.
Artists will receive increased travel subsidies, making access to regional and international festivals more affordable.
We getting it done. We building it up. PNM.
The Cultural Ambassador Program Tour will resume for outstanding creatives to represent Brand Tobago regionally and internationally.
PNM.
A live music district will be created in Scarborough with a roving showcase featuring sponsored local performers.
PNM. We getting it done. We building it up. PNM.
We will market location Tobago in the international film arena to support our film industry.
PNM. We getting it done. We building it up. PNM.
The PNM is in full support of culture. On December 6th, vote PNM.
PNM.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement. The following is a paid political announcement.
Here are the PNM's plans for sports. A marina will be delivered by 2025, establishing Tobago as a premier destination for international boating events.
PNM, we getting it done. We building it up.
The hosting of at least 6 international sporting tournaments annually, providing a direct benefit to a vast majority of workers.
We getting it done. PNM, we building it up. PNM.
The establishment of surfing tourism hubs at Hope and Lambo, expanding job opportunities.
We getting it done. We building it up. PNM.
We will expand the THA Sport Awards, recognizing youth achievement and excellence in a wide range of areas.
PNM.
Registered sporting groups will be eligible for an additional grant up to $5,000 for the development of organized sports.
P&M, we getting it done. We building it up. P&M.
We will grant at least one university scholarship to an exceptional athlete annually, also partnering with the private sector to provide 2 additional scholarships.
We getting it done. We building it up. P&M.
We will grant at least 1 scholarship to an exceptional, differently abled athlete annually.
We getting it done. We building it up. P&M.
The PNM is helping you excel in sport. On December 6th, vote PNM.
P&M.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement.
In these unsure financial times, protection of your hard-earned financial assets is a priority. We at MI4 Security Cash in Transit Service are sure to grant you peace of mind. Fully insured services. Call us today at 660-7723 or 635-2144. MI4 Security Services Company Limited, keeping Tobago safe.
Be viewing Tobago Channel 5 for the live broadcast of the Tobago Methodist Circuit this Sunday and every Sunday at 9 a.m. as they bring God into our homes.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Think about the poor health care and jam the X in. Think about the poor educational system your children have to face with. Jam the X. When you think every time you can't go down in a pothole, jam the X. Every time you think that you are poor and you're needy and the food card flying elsewhere because you are perceived to be of a certain other color, certain other political loyalty, jam it. Put it right up inside.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement.
Tune in to Tobago Channel 5 and Pulse 89.5 FM on Tuesday 30th November at 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. for part 1 of a THA election special broadcast on Tobago's autonomy and economy with attorney at law Deborah Mormigans and Dr. Vanus James.
The people, the personalities, the candidates, the results. Keep viewing Tobago Channel 5 as we bring to you all the results and reactions from the party headquarters on election night, December 6, 2021 from 6 p.m. Stay with the election leader, Tobago Channel 5 for THA Elections 2021-2022. The Race for Power, Part 2.
Welcome back, and of course our guest is with us, and let's welcome Mr. Lawrence Hislop. He is the PNM candidate for Miss Noel Mariah. And good morning and welcome, Mr. Hislop, and to all our viewers and followers on Facebook. They are here lighting up, and I can't call a name, we give him the time constraint. Good morning and welcome.
Morning, Brother B. How you doing? How you doing?
Good. Now, Miss, not people are saying they don't know you. Just to give a little backdrop, of course, we know Miss Colleen Gray, well, before Gray, she's Mrs. Hislop, and Stanleyford Hislop is your father. Sir. I would know that, but some of Miss, not people are saying, we don't know that fella. Tell us why, if that is so, and put it straight, put the record straight this morning.
Well, that's interesting. I smile at it. The reason for that maybe is because I left Miss Noel to further my studies at about the age of 19. I came back to Tobago, didn't come right back into Miss Noel to live, but was very involved in church, very involved in the church community in Miss Noel. And I'm always in Miss Noel. Every day I'm in Miss Noel because I have a farm in Miss Noel. Mommy still lives there, so I'm there all the time. A lot of people in Sandy River will know me. Everybody in Sandy River knows me because that's where I grew up. That's where I walked the streets. As a child, we were not allowed to be part and parcel of too many community activities because you grew up in a Seventh-day Adventist home. Right. So the only time I would venture up in the village, as you would say, as a child, is when you're going to church.
Very good.
Because the lineman wasn't allowed, and those kind of things.
Right.
So Sand River people know me because that's...
So we know Roger with the mechanic shop.
Yeah.
Roger, you know, he would be the limer. He would break curfew, as it were. Because we know Roger, however...
But he's doing that now.
Well, he's doing that now. But anyway, and so you were raised strictly in the 7 days way of life, if you want to call it that, and so on. And you're a preacher? You're a minister?
Yes, I am. I'm an elder at a Seventh-day Adventist church.
All right. But let's get into what I was... the first time I heard you speak, I didn't have a clue that you were a pastor. An
elder.
An elder. And I said, this fella has talent and he can speak well. Talk to us about your studies, what you achieved academically, just to get a backdrop, because maybe at university you had to present to the professor, I don't know. Tell us.
Well, I came from a family background that's heavily academic, because, as you said, both of my parents were teachers. But I didn't like school, brother. I didn't like...
You used to run away and catch crayfish?
No, don't run away and catch crayfish. I just didn't like school. So I took more of a technical slant. So my official training, my formal training is in IT. I spent 7 years in RBTT as a technology support officer. So that's who I was. I was responsible for the IT framework in Tobago, the ATM machines. That's where I spent most of my years. And then I decided I'll try something else. I'll expand my territory. I went and I became certified in heavy equipment. So I'm a certified operator. So I can work in any industrial environment in Trinidad, in Tobago. And my certification is US based, so even in the US.
Okay, where you went to school? Where in the States?
No, I didn't go to school in the States, but the certification is a US certification.
Okay, fine. Okay, all right. So let's come now to the pastor that is now
Go ahead.
Well, politician, quote unquote.
Yes,
why did you decide to get into politics, sir?
I was approached. I was asked to put myself forward. Politics, I make no bones in saying politics was never on my horizon. But service to people has always been key to me. Even in a church setting, even in a youth setting at church, it was always about the people. And so I prayed about it, thought long and hard about it, fasted about it.
Wow.
I did, because I felt that it was something, I felt that it was a significant decision to make. So I spent a lot of time thinking about it. Even spoke to my mother, my brothers, close family and friends. And I came to the realization that politics is firstly about people. Politics is about service to people. So if I'm involved in service to people from a religious standpoint, and an offer comes for me to consider serving a wider community, then why should I be selfish and keep that kind of talent that I have, that kind of passion that I have, just in the church?
All right, fine.
So that's why I choose to.
That's why you jump in the ring.
Yes.
All right, let's get the demarcation of your electoral district. I'm asking every candidate who sits here as to the Mason Moriah, but we know it's more than that. Tell us about the.
So it starts St. Cecilia, Concordia, and all the way up to the Castara River. That's the river just at the bottom of Mount Dillon. So the last house. Just after you come off the Mount Dillon lookout, that's not where the territory ends, but that's where the last resident lives. Okay. All right. So from there and all of Mason Hall and Moriah.
Very good. All right. Let's talk your vision. And I heard you, and I likened some of what and I couldn't wait to get you here. But let's start from Mount Dillon. What needs to be done? What more needs to be done with that piece of real estate that is there? Really, it's just a lookout, but there's more that can be done. Is there any vision in your?
Well, there was an original design that was conceptualized for that place, and there's nothing to say that cannot be done, which is to include a play park. There was plans for an amphitheater there as well, and a park space, car park space as well. So that is to enhance the space. You could also install the telescopes and that kind of thing for persons to be. It's a lookout. That's what you go there for, to relax, to have fun with family and friends. Churches have gone there for picnics and that kind of thing.
Weddings takes place.
Yeah. So it's just to enhance upgrade the facilities that are there, bathroom facilities, the gazebo, the benches, those kinds of things we want to see installed.
All right, there's a cotton tree in Runnymede that is really taking over the road. The one in Golden collapsed.
Yeah.
We don't know the life of this one that is blocking the road almost. It's a tourism attraction. Give us your thoughts when you pass there. With your family, maybe going to Castor, and they say, "Oh God, why we can do something about this tree?" What are the vision? What is the vision going forward with that area as to leave the tree there? Maybe make another road. I don't know. You tell us what your vision is.
Well, it shouldn't be my vision. It should be what the residents of that area want.
And what is
it has become part of the community, and so you have different takes on it. You have takes to take it down. You have other ideas to build a road around it, but that would be significant infrastructure and also cost. And then you have a resident who built a home
right next to
it. So it's a challenging thing to even get into. But I'm saying if it has to come down, it has to come down. As much as it is a tourism attraction. Sometimes we have to really consider, consider the lives of people. Excellent. And just the way the tree fell in Culloden.
It can possibly happen.
That could possibly happen. And
God forbid.
God forbid.
All right, let's go now to, you talk about King Peter Bay Road. So we're coming down, right?
Yeah.
And you said that beach could be, it can be one of the beaches that is tourism oriented and it can attract, it can do much for the community of King Peter Bay Road. Talk to us about that. Expand on that.
Well, some of the ideas that we have for there is to construct fishing facilities, because most of the fishermen from Moriah, from King Peter Bay, base their boats in Castara. So it would be a good initiative for them to come back. So the construction of beach fishing facilities, landing facilities, and also fish processing facilities for them to be able to clean their catch and get ready for market. Also the construction of a beach facility that would have restaurant space for entertainment, space for recreation, your bathroom facilities and stuff, so that the beach now becomes user friendly. So it's no longer just about going and take a sea bath, but you can have activities. So we creating a space that you could have a fisherman fete or a fisherman festival back in Moriah, that kind of thing. So you're creating an environment for business. You're creating an environment for the fishermen to be comfortable in that space. And what we propose for it is that it must be a green initiative, because the idea is that we plan to light all of King Peter Bay Road with solar streetlights.
Great.
So then the project at the beach should be a green initiative that speaks to that as well. And also the opening up of Big Bay and Celery Bay to make those beaches accessible, so that we could have generate some income and so on.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, what we'll do, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we get into Mason Hall.
Sure.
And then we talk about Them Boys Pan. Coming back and so on.
Yeah.
And then we go talk more about Mason Hall, right?
All right.
Creek fish and how we could export creek fish and dasheen and so on. We have plenty to talk.
Yeah,
let's go for the break. When we come back, we continue with Mr. Hislop. See you then.
Be viewing Tobago Channel 5 for the live broadcast of the Tobago Methodist Circuit this Sunday and every Sunday at 9 a.m. as they bring God into our homes.
Greetings in the name of Jesus Christ, our soon and coming King. I am Minister Cassandra Powder, here to encourage you to dare to be different. Think the unthinkable, for we serve a God that has no limits, no boundaries. It's time to elevate.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Here's how the PNM is ensuring a future in agriculture. 3,000 registered farmers and home gardeners will now receive access to grant funding, government subsidies, trading and tax incentives.
We getting it done. We building it up.
3,000 new registered farmers have received training in crop production, organic farming, livestock farming, agro-processing, pasture management, farm management, and marketing.
We getting it done, P&M, we building it up, P&M.
Our Agriculture Access Road Program provided $134 million in road building and upgrades, getting goods from farms to markets.
We getting it done, P&M, we building it up, P&M.
We made $38.6 million in upgrades to the Scarborough market, providing small farmers a convenient and affordable space.
P&M.
Our Agricultural Finance Support Program grants you up to $100,000 to start your own agribusiness.
We getting it done, P&M, we building it up, P&M.
The P&M is ensuring a future in agriculture. On December 6th, vote PNM.
P&M.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement. The following is a paid political announcement.
Here are the PNM's plans for the fishermen of Tobago. We will increase the financial support to fishermen up to $500,000 for 500 eligible fishermen.
P&M, we getting it done, we building it up.
We will introduce tilapia farming with an annual production target of 1 million kilograms.
We getting it done, P&M, we building it up, P&M.
We will protect lives at sea by expanding the GPS tracking devices program to unregistered seafarers.
We getting it done, we building it up, P&M.
We will improve the standard of markets, fishing centers, and landing sites, making them safer and more marketable.
P&M.
Within the first 9 months, we will make upgrades to the fishing facilities across Tobago, including reconstruction of the Palativia jetty.
P&M. We getting it done, we building it up, P&M.
The PNM will improve the fishing industry in Tobago. On December 6th, vote PNM.
P&M.
The proceeding was a paid political announcement.
Tune in to Tobago Channel 5 and Pulse 89.5 FM on Tuesday, 30th November at 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. for part 1 of a THA election special broadcast on Tobago's autonomy and economy with attorney at law Deborah Mormigans and Dr. Vanus James.
The people, the personalities, the candidates, the results. Keep viewing Tobago Channel 5 as we bring to you all the results and reactions from the party headquarters on election night, December 6, 2021 from 6 p.m. Stay with the election leader, Tobago Channel 5 for THA Elections 2021-2022. The Race for Power, Part 2.
All right, welcome back, and of course, thank you guys, our guest, Mr. Lawrence, thank you guys, Mr. Lawrence Hislop, of the PNM candidate for Mason Hall Moriah. So we covered most of Moriah thereabout. We are in Mason Hall now. And you spoke about, let's deal with the steel band first. Them boys, Pecky, gonna be glad to hear. And when I heard that, I said, here's somebody. But then, you are 7 days, and how was that going down with your congregation, saying that you're promoting pan and crayfish? And we know 7 days don't eat shell food or crayfish that don't have blood and thing. But that's a lurking industry. But let's take crayfish first. And Louisiana and other parts in the world, crayfish is one of the, in Trinidad and Tobago, is the most costly shell food, should we say. I think it's $40 a pound for crayfish, and so on. And the foreigners relish that. But presently, we rely on Carly and 1 or 2 fellas to go and catch crayfish. If they had to supply any real industry, that wouldn't do. Talk us about the possibility, or is there a possibility of farming crayfish?
Well, the thing about it is, let me first address the Seventh-day Adventist issue with the shellfish. I don't eat it, and because of my own religious conviction, I won't eat it. But if I am seeking to represent Mason Hall Moriah, I'm seeking to represent everybody in Mason Hall Moriah.
Great.
And as much as I love my religious convictions, not everybody subscribes to my religious convictions. And as a leader in the political space, we are serving in a secular society. So we are seeking to represent everybody. On the crayfish issue, the possibility of farming crayfish is a real possibility. It is a viable addition to our economy. Because as you mentioned Louisiana, when you look at what is done in Louisiana, it is possible. Mason Hall is known for being the home of the mark, the crayfish. And it is a unique, it sets us in a unique place on the economic scale that if we do this right, and it can be done right because we see it done in other places in the world. So if it is done right, it can create employment, it can add to our GDP. We're talking about foreign exchange as well because you're looking to export this kind of product. As well as you can have spin-offs right in the community. So I didn't mention in the meeting on Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago at Mason Hall, that you can create now an industry in a river food restaurant.
Exactly.
Because you have seafood restaurants in Castara and Charlottesville and in Crown Point. So Mason Hall doesn't have the privilege of having a sea, but Mason Hall has something a lot of the other villages doesn't have, which is crayfish and mark, which the foreigners love. And so we can now create spin-off industries from that.
Excellent. All right, let's go now. And I'm coming to Dasheen just now. But let's bring the steel pan in. And you would know, or you may not as well, that Mason Hall had 2 major steel pans. Whiskey and Brady on the hill, which was Kupalani Wonder Boys. Right. And I can't remember the name, but Whiskey down the road.
Before my time, brother.
Yeah. Eventually, Steel Man died. Right. And Mr. Renison Kwashi and others, myself, said, look, let's bring back steel pan. The conversation started when Brady died by Nolly shop there and so on. And we spoke about it and we came up with different names until they settled with them boys. Eventually, Steel Pan died, was doing well. You spoke about in Manhattan when they went to Madison Square Garden, I was there. Yes. And so I felt proud that this Steel Pan actually came to this festival across the world. Your intention to bring back Steel Pan or them boys or to bring them back, what is the intent and the vision going forward?
And don't forget Saggy.
And Saggy, when Saggy passed.
Don't forget Saggy. Yes. The Dem Boy Steel Orchestra, I remember, this is part of the story of growing up as an Adventist. So you weren't allowed to be in the steel pan. You weren't allowed to be in the pan theater and so on. And that's fine. But I remember what that created in the community. I remember the community spirit that was around the Dem Boy Steel Orchestra. And so it is an ideal opportunity to cause community spirit to be reborn in Mason Hall and the environs. And so the land that was given to the Dem Boy Steel Orchestra has been there for a period of time. And we think that it is time, is the right time to construct the pan tent and to have the pan side, the steel orchestra, come back into its own. Thus bringing about a community spirit back into Mason Hall. You would get the young people involved as well. Because you remember when it used to be by Dalmont once upon a time, right in the corner.
By Velma.
By Velma, right. And then there used to be a little section by Dalmont as well. And everybody was involved. Everybody, the community, when the pan side went to Panorama and so on, you felt this. You felt this is me. This is Mason Hall. This is what I'm part of. And so we want to bring back that kind of spirit, that kind of community spirit that people can say, Mason Hall.
Very good. And I like how you dealt with your religious, and you said you're representing people, not just the support of your religion, right? And that is very significant to have been to be clear about. All right, let's go now to a staple that we all are proud of in Mason Hall, and that's blue food. That's dasheen. We produce the best dasheen in the world. Let me be clear on that. Now, and there are pockets of people who plant dasheen, like myself, and I do it traditionally, just because it's part of who I am, and I just do it because I miss and I love it. There are people who do it because of that. However, this product, there are 2 young ladies, and I have to point to them. There's the thing that we go to Land Summit to do, Blue Food Festival.
Yeah, Blue Food Festival.
But these two ladies have taken the thing to another level. They are producing Dashin cereal.
Right.
Mr. Hizop, your vision for Dashin production and how we can maximize the production of Dashin so as to create an industry.
Well, you talk about Dashin, you talk about your Dashin. I saw your plantation.
You went back,
you need, no, I went to check the guys down in the back with the couple, Charles and they down in the back with the you need to clean out the Dashin. Right? But when you look at places like Hawaii has a huge Dashin plant production.
Yeah.
And there is no reason why we can't do something like that in Mason Hall. We have to create the space. So you create the space for that kind of thing. You have to find because we have the water, and I think it's the water and the soil that makes the Dashin the best, and there's no doubt about that. So there is a great possibility that we can put people to work. We can put young people to work in that field. You see, once people see that there is money to be made from something, and we have to sometimes think bigger than the traditional style of agriculture. And once we can show people that there's money to be made in something, they'll get involved in it with the right representation.
In closing, Mr. Hizop, time is of the essence. We got to go. Why should people vote for you as the representative?
Well, I pride myself in being a people person. I will sit and I will talk to anybody, from the guy sitting on the side of the street to the man in the shirt and tie. So I could talk to anybody, treat with anybody, and it's about me being a sincere representative.
Excellent. Mr. Hizop, we want to thank you very much. We do have other commitments, and it was indeed a pleasure.
Time too short.
Time too short. But anyway, we got to go. With that, I want to thank you for viewing Rise and Shine. Hey, embrace the urgency of today. For tomorrow is a mystery. Better be saying so long.